Illuvium Zero has only been out a week and a half, but the team has already put out 4 patches. So if you haven't stayed up to speed with everything, I'm going to give a real quick overview of these, and I'm going to highlight especially the ones that impact gameplay. A lot of the notes in here I will skim through pretty quickly because they're quality of life improvements and minor UI fixes that are also very helpful. A lot of them are things that I put in the bug tracker and really glad to see resolved, but I'm not going to focus on them, so you can pause the video at any time if you want to see those in detail. So I'll highlight just a couple things in the first 2 patches here, but I'll stop quickly along the way so you can pause and read in more detail if you like. So some of the patch notes here, plant clearing duration is shown in the pop-up, some other changes there, some fixes, and the part I really like is that they're showing these ongoing issues now. I'd like to see more of this in the patch notes where they let us know what they're still working on. So the 2 things they've highlighted are external wallet support, so we can move our land NFTs back to cold storage and still play on those, and then plot layout fixes. So the plots, several of them were flipped vertically as far as where the resource sites were, and so they're looking at ways to address that and fix it. The next patch was August 2nd, and this is the big one that changed the gameplay. And so if we go down, you can see the goals of the patch are twofold here that they list. First, let landholders get to significant fuel production slightly quicker, and second, to help low-tier land plots progress more seamlessly and quickly through the game. A lot less fuel conversions that are required, really. And they've changed the fuel conversion rates as part of that change. So instead of being a 60% conversion at 100% efficiency, it's now 70%. And there's some details there on how that works. I'll have a video coming out that really helps you optimize your efficiency for different buildings and walks you through what you want those to be and how you should manage that going forward. So look for that video in the next few days here. Main building upgrade costs. These have changed significantly. Before, the Nexus was super expensive, so if you had a lot of Hyperion on your land plot, you could progress really quickly, but if you didn't, you had to do a ton of conversions. And at the same time, the Solon and Krypton requirements for Engineering Workshop and Quantum Fabricant were really low, and so they've just balanced this out, and it's much better now, regardless of what fuel you have on your land, which is good. Extractor upgrade costs have changed, so those have gone down significantly. So again, lower tier land plots have to do much less fuel conversions to get rolling in the game. Upgrading these fuel extractors is really critical early game, and now you can do it a lot sooner. Fuel extraction costs have changed. This is really straightforward. Just reduces the amount of elements that are required each time you start up that fuel extraction. That leaves you with more elements to use for other upgrades as you're still extracting fuel. And then passive resource generation from converters has been changed a little bit. This is just for the element converters. So if we go down to the table, you can see they changed from 1 hour or 4 hours to 30 minutes and 2 hours for the entire passive generation activity to happen. And they've increased the number of cycles that happen within each activity from 3 to 30 or 12 to 30. So basically your passive generation that's collecting ticks up more frequently, and you can collect it more often then and actually get something from it. So that's a nice change. And then finally the third patch here, and this was also on August 2nd. And this is mostly minor changes. The big one to show here is this UI visual for passive generation. So now when you click on any of your converters and you see the button where you normally click to collect that passive generation, there's a colored highlight around that button, and as it progresses around the button, you'll get some of those cycles, so you will have passive generation you can collect. But once that passive generation activity is complete, then you'll have the entire button highlighted, and at that point it's no longer generating any passive fuel or element. That's a big change there. There's some other minor fixes here that you can read through, but that's all I wanted to highlight for today. I will have several videos coming out in the next few days on Illuvium Zero, so if you really want to learn more and some of the details and strategies that I've been using, please subscribe and pay attention. Watch for my next videos coming out. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy Illuvium Zero.